Guys, this will be video number 1 for our 1965 Mustang project. This car was actually my wife's first car. She got it when she was 16 years old, and it's been languishing in our garage for the past 24 years. And I work on it here and there a little bit. Bought some parts for it. Got the AJE front suspension for it. Converts it to coilover and a Fox body or SN95 style front suspension. I also have the same AJE set up for the back, but I haven't installed any of it yet. This is one of those projects that's kind of got, I don't want to say necessarily abandoned, but I have worked on it a little bit by little bit here and there, and told myself, oh yeah, I'm going to work on it, and I'll get all hot and heavy and work on it for about a month, and then, well, then it just kind of gets abandoned again. But it is now January 2nd, 2023, or is it January 3rd? I don't know. It's the 2nd or 3rd, one or the other. Anyway, I have promised my wife that March 24th, which will be her birthday, that she will be able to pull this car out of the garage under its own power. Kind of a lofty goal, but I'm sure we can do it. First things first, we've got a list of things to do. The first one was to get all the junk out of the car and put all of the car parts that we're going to use inside the car and bring it over to my dad's shop, because this is where the majority of my tools are, my welders and whatnot. So that's going to come in handy when I go to welding the front back on. So far we have no engine, no transmission, no radiator support, no inner fender apron, no battery tray, and the list goes on and on and on. But we have been able to scratch the 2 things off the list, which was to clean the junk out of the car and get it over to the shop. Now, since I'm going to point this out, you can barely see right here. This frame rail is not straight. This one is worse than this one, but the car's been hit a couple of times in the front. When I cut the original, well, I don't want to say the original, when I cut the radiator support off that was on it, it had been scabbed on over the existing remnants of the original radiator support. So I've cut all that old stuff out, and we're going to replace all of it with all new stuff. But the first order of business for today is to straighten this frame rail out best I can with the means that I have available to me. Well, okay. That did, I believe, absolutely nothing. So I think I'm going to have to back up and punt on this one, and either buy myself one of those little porta-power tools like they've got at Harbor Freight, or see if one of my buddies might have a frame rack that they could pull this front end straight on. It's not terrible. I could probably just bolt this front end in the sum frame and call it good, because everything where it's bent is actually in front of the suspension. So the export brace kind of holds everything in place where it's supposed to be. Plus I got a Monte Carlo bar to go across. So the actual suspension, as long as I measure everything correctly, should be a-okay. So the car should track straight. But as of right now, this cross member is just held in with 2 C-clamps, as you can see right there. So I really need to get that bolted in to really stiffen this front end up. All I've got to work with right now is just a come along and some boards and some C-clamps, but it's just not cutting it. It's a lot stronger than what I was expecting it to be, being how it's just a box of sheet metal. So I think that's going to be it for this video, and next time hopefully I'll have either the front suspension bolted in, or I'll have this this frame rail straightened out or something. I'll make some kind of progress. Okay, well, I just took a step back and found myself getting frustrated with the frame rail situation. Then the thought popped up in my head, something that I tell people all the time: if it's not fun, you're doing it wrong. And, well, when you find yourself getting frustrated with something, just take a step back and do something fun. For instance, I just took all of the replacement sheet metal that I've got and I just kind of loosely hung it up front. Kind of gives me a little bit of inspiration, kind of tells me the direction I'm headed. I really wish I was putting this in for the last time, but it's been on and off several times to give me that little bit of inspiration that I needed. But just thought I'd share that little tidbit of information to everyone out there that's got a overwhelming project. You know, may get a little frustrated, may want to throw in the towel, may want to give up, may want to sell it. Just don't do it. Just walk away, take a break, do something fun on the car, truck, whatever you're working on, or just walk away and do something fun somewhere else. The most important part is that you just don't give up. Later.